Welcome, Elisa Criddle, and thank you for taking the time to testify today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you provide some background on summit incidents that were observed?
Multiple anomalous incidents were indicated, including unusual network behavior from various IP addresses, mainly from the United States, UDP flood attacks making websites unavailable, and ransomware attacks on HR workstations from malicious Excel file which encrypted important documents, making them inaccessible. My testimony today will respond to any legal consideration questions based on the occurrence of the aforementioned incidents.
What are the legal challenges associated with cyber incidents involving foreign countries?
The United States has technology export restrictions, so therefore tools to perform ethical hacking cannot share with listed countries such as Sudan. The United Kingdom has an anti-slavery attestation which must exist for every portion of the supply chain. Australia has compliance with Australia's Information Security Manual, ISM. New Zealand has compliance with the Intelligence and Security Act of 2017, and Canada requires compliance with the Government of Canada's Cloud Security Risk Management Approach and Procedures.
How do internal laws affect e-discovery?
Privacy laws and extradition laws can remove the possibility of extracting information housed on foreign soil. For example, extraction of Swiss bank account information. Electronic discovery, also called e-discovery or e-discovery, refers to any process in which electronic data is sought, located, secured, with the intent of using it as evidence in a civil or criminal legal case. The nature of digital data makes it extremely well suited to investigation. A wide range of employees throughout an organization can be affected by e-discovery law. In addition to the legal and risk management teams, the IT team, which can include the CIO, security professionals, system administrators, and other document custodians, is directly involved. E-discovery affects an entire organization, including end users who create and store documents. E-discovery experts recommend that everyone in an organization follow a consistent data destruction policy to prevent phishing expeditions by the opposing side. In this regard, the entire organization is affected by the potential for e-discovery, even when no lawsuit has been filed.
What are the legal challenges of assessing and retrieving electronic evidence stored on foreign soil?
There are many devices that are cheaply manufactured in China and are very difficult to perform forensics by examiners. The primary reason is that inexpensive Chinese cell phones are unbranded, meaning they have no International Mobile Equipment Identity, or IMEI, number, and therefore cannot be traced.
Assuming cloud storage was used, what procedures were followed to access and retrieve digital evidence stored in the cloud?
There are 5 steps for conducting computer forensics investigations. Policy and procedures, such as non-disclosure agreements, acceptable use policies, asset management, tagging, and tracking. Evidence assessment, service level agreements, or SLAs, allowing recreation of cyber incidents. Evidence acquisition, for visual analysis of network traffic with tools such as Wireshark or IP2Nation.com. Evidence examination, tools such as Nessus, SCAP, and Snort allow for examination of network traffic captured with Wireshark and scanning of unknown source countries found through IP2Nation. documenting and reporting. Alien Vault and Nessus scan websites for anomalies, and Snort allows for alerts as well as blocking of websites.
Specific to the country that your team was assigned, how did the international laws and jurisdictions influence the processes and procedures followed during the forensic investigation?
Technical approach documents aligned with the International Alliance members' intelligence and security framework guidelines were developed. This includes the aforementioned guidelines such as the United States Technology Export Restrictions, the United Kingdom's Anti-Slavery Attestation, Australia's Information Security Manual, New Zealand's Intelligence and Security Act, and Canada's Cloud Security Risk Management Approach and Procedures.
What conflicts arose between ethics and international laws during the forensic investigations?
No single organization offers a definitive code of ethics for forensics examiners. To form ethical standards, the organizations look at the standards of other organizations. The ethical guidelines of organizations can have a great impact on experts' testimony. Ethics comprises of a set of rules to measure the performance of computer forensics examiners. Various professions term such ethics as code of professional conduct or responsibility. It is imperative for every computer forensics examiner to maintain the highest level of ethical behavior when conducting investigations, preparing reports, or giving testimony. In the United States, there is another ethical guide that includes some provisions regarding computer-related investigations. The United States Department of Justice, due to the dramatic increase in computer-related crimes, provides systematic guidance that can assist foreign examiners in collecting electronic evidence in criminal investigation. There are two primary sources of these laws governing electronic evidence: the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution and statutory privacy laws. The core principles of the United States Department of Justice regarding computer forensics include the Fourth Amendment, which puts restrictions on the warrantless search and seizure of computers. The Protection Act, Article 42 of the United States Code 2000 AA, imposes limitations on the use of search warrants to examine computers. Stored Communications Act, Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 2701 through 2712, governs how examiners can acquire contents and account records from network service providers, including ISPs, mobile device service providers, and telephone companies. The United States Attorney's Office appoints at least one assistant United States attorney who acts as the computer hacking and intellectual property chip specialist, and these specialists receive proper training in computer-related crimes and investigations. The Office of International Affairs provides training in computer crime examinations that raise international disputes. The Office of Enforcement Operations provides expertise in wiretapping laws. The Child Exploitation and Obscenity section spells out laws about computer-related crimes involving child pornography.
How did these conflicts affect the investigations?
The time to incident response resolution is increased while verifying compliance with international and national standards and laws, previously mentioned in the previous questions.
How were the conflicts mitigated or resolved?
The International Organization for Standardization, ISO, sets standards, not universal though. ISO 27037 for digital forensics was ratified in 2012. In the United States, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act was enacted in 1986 and superseded by Title 18 to help examiners conduct effective investigations. Since there is no universally accepted standards for computer forensics, the concerned organizations have developed their own code of ethics to maintain reliability to their members.
What steps were taken to protect the United States soil and citizens during the international investigation?
Information is not shared where United States warrants were issued. Until United States warrants were issued, Service level agreements, or SLAs, were developed between alliance members, noting responsible parties for tasks and which tools are used.
Describe any risks to the countries, businesses, or citizens from your investigations.
The Patriot Act is vital to the war on terror and defending our citizens against ruthless enemies. It has brought the federal government's ability to investigate threats to these provisions of the USA Patriot Act are essential to our efforts in the United States and international terrorists to prevent attacks here on U.S. soil. The purpose of the USA Patriot Act is to deter and punish terrorist acts in the United States and around the world, to enhance law enforcement investigatory tools, and other purposes, some of which include to strengthen the U.S. measures to prevent, detect, and prosecute international money laundering and financing of terrorism, to subject to special scrutiny foreign jurisdictions, foreign financial institutions, and classes of international transactions or types of accounts that are susceptible to criminal abuse, to require all appropriate elements of the financial services industry to report potential money laundering, to strengthen measures to prevent use of the U.S. financial system for personal gain by corrupt foreign officials, and to facilitate repatriation of stolen assets to the citizens of the countries to whom which assets belong. The risk to our country, as one senator voted against the Patriot Act, calling it a violation of civil liberties. To libertarians and civil liberties advocates, the shift underscores the evolution in thinking about the risks and trade-offs of terrorism, a recognition that perhaps the country went too far out of fear and anxiety. To national security conservatives, it represents a dangerous national amnesia about the altogether real dangers still confronting the country. Americans feel less scared of terrorism at home than at any point since September 11 polls show. Risk to businesses. The USA Patriot Act deters and punishes terrorist attacks in the United States and abroad through enhanced law enforcement and strengthened money laundering prevention. It also allows the use of investigative tools designed for organized crime and drug trafficking prevention for terrorist investigation. The risk to citizens. Section 215 of the Patriot Act violates the Constitution in several ways. It violates the Fourth Amendment, which says the government cannot conduct a search without obtaining a warrant and showing probable cause to believe that the person has committed or will commit a crime. That concludes my testimony. Any other questions?
No, thank you for that testimony.